Quick PSA, I want to start this video by addressing the people who like my general content, but always complain whenever I make this kind of video. Stop being so weak. I am sick to the back teeth of explaining that I make videos about what I want. And if what I make hurts your feelings when it was never about you specifically, and I am just addressing arguments the exact same way I address all arguments, then acting like I kicked your dog because I mocked something you're into makes you a hypocrite. And this aside, I have literally no time for you. Grow up and have some fun at the silly bad idea person, who by the way is the one making you look bad, not me, along with all the rest of us. Cheers.
The worldview discussions space can be so combative.
What'd you say about me? I'll fight you. I'll fight you all. You can't stop me. I'm so sick, motherfucker.
And when atheists and Christians come up with lists of questions that they don't think the other side can answer, those questions usually aren't genuine.
Okay. I'm cool. Right, yeah. I mean, lists of questions are not usually the best ways to figure out something when you are asking umpteen zillion people to answer them. But they do often tell you a lot about the person asking the questions. The more poorly formed ones will point out a lot of what they don't understand about the thing they are questioning. And the really bad ones that are just plain incoherent show that they don't even understand how to words. Now, you're featuring on the Sir Sick channel. So it's one of the two. I don't know which, because I find these videos when I'm blackout drunk and then work on them the next day, when I'm only one eye closed drunk. But please be the former. I am in no mood for gibberish.
I've never made a list like that, although I've responded to some.
Me too. Far too many, in fact. But my personal favourite is, ironic to my previous statement, a drinking game. I'm going to link it, but for the love of God, don't do it. It's dangerous. And yes, I do know that telling the internet not to do something guarantees that they do it. I'm counting on it. What's a few hospital visits to get my numbers up, eh?
Here, I hope my atheist interlocutors will consider these questions deeply without giving glib answers.
He used a big word. Damn, better get my big boy pants on. What do you mean he said no glib answers? That wasn't a question, and it also wasn't a glib answer. I always get my big boy pants on when people use fancy words.
These aren't meant to be gotcha questions, though I'm not asking for no reason. I expect you will have answers, and I want to hear what the most sincere among you have to say.
Well, okay. What? I'm not being sarcastic. I'm just sounding sarcastic because I'm a massive dick. That doesn't mean I'm not sincere. It just means, well, that I'm a dick. Get over it and let's answer some goddamn questions already.
With that, here are my 10 questions for atheists. What facts about reality that you and I agree are real facts about the way the world is does your worldview account for, but my Christianity doesn't account for, or at least doesn't account for well?
Is that a trick question? Basically all of them, because I'm sorry, but God did it will always be the worst possible answer to any question. And is the ultimate answer if you're using your religion to explain things. And until the day God is proven to be real, you got nothing. Then of course you'll just have to hope that it's your God and not someone else's God that has a completely different ideology to yours. Or wouldn't it be hilarious if he's like, oh, I exist, but I did literally nothing to cause the universe or anything in it. I just watched it all happen. You people are hilarious. Where's me whiskey at?
And for those of you that would point out atheism isn't a worldview, I'm talking about you, your worldview that includes atheism.
Ah, my worldview. Well, I might as well share that with you. My philosophy is kill all humans, drink all whiskey, laugh at stupids, and of course, God don't real. And you can't tell me that doesn't perfectly sum up the universe and where it comes from, etc. Perfectly, damn it.
I can't think of any. Christianity accounts for evil, suffering, the existence of other religions, including supernatural events in those other religions, science, and differences among different denominations of Christianity.
Of course you can't think of any, because you are working from the presupposition that your worldview is true. And I am working off the quote-unquote presupposition that if you can prove it, it's true. It's just, unfortunately, there's a bit of a divide there. Unfortunately for you, because, you know, I have proof, and you don't.
But I can think of many things that the most common worldviews that include atheism don't answer as well as I think Christianity does.
Okay, go for it. Impress me with your incredible choices that don't completely and utterly ignore your own premise, making me wonder if you actually understand how words work.
Like universal supernatural claims, universal religious experiences.
Oh no, he did that thing I said he shouldn't do. I am the big surprised. Your question was this.
What facts about reality that you and I agree are real facts about the way the world is, does your worldview account for, but my Christianity doesn't account for?
I do not agree to any supernatural events, you dumb f***. Look, here's the thing. When I first saw your video and you started off with the big spiel about wanting to be sincere and all that jazz, I was like, oh well, this isn't going to be something I need to respond to, but it sounds like it will really be worth my time to listen to. Maybe it will give me something to think about. And he didn't even get one goddamn question in before completely screwing that up. Look, I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed. Extremely, unbelievably, rightfully disappointed. Oh, I guess I am angry.
Free will, morality, near-death experiences, beauty, the rapid expansion of the early church.
Right then, let's take a crack at these that Christianity am so good at then, shall we? Free will. You can't even prove free will exists. Fail. Morality. Morality is extremely well explained by the needs for humans to survive by cooperating and not doing each other over. Many morals from the Christian books are considered extremely immoral today. Fail. Near-death experience. Part of survival is giving up when your body can't go on anymore and your brain will just start to give out nice things to stop the pain. But there is no such thing as a universal near-death experience. If you were right, we would all see the same thing or at least something similar when that happens. Fail. Beauty. Generally speaking, safe things look nice. Healthy mates look nice. Safe locations look nice. Almost like it's some kind of biological imperative. What's your argument? God made pretty because nice? What does that even mean? And he also made all the horrifying things in the world. Why did he do that? Because also f*** us, I guess? Fail. And finally, the rapid expansion of the Christian church. Certainly not explained by Yahweh being a war god, thus having warlike followers until, oh no, no more followers of other gods in our pantheon left. And yes, your god is from a pantheon. Look it up. I guess we were right all along. Also, reality TV is extremely popular and everyone also agrees that it's shit. Fail.
The events surrounding the life and death of Jesus of Nazareth and our shared longing for purpose and meaning.
Come on now. Do you actually know what the words, things we all agree are real, even mean? I don't think that you do. The thing is, Jesus is suspiciously similar to various characters, all from older religions. Some might say that's because he was the real, and that does all the proof. I would say it's because early Christians were thieving little shits who couldn't come up with an original idea if it walked up to them and kicked them in the nuts. But that's just me and my very handsome/humble opinion. Hansumble, if you will. And a shared longing for purpose? I thought your God was real. You shouldn't have any longing for purpose. You must be a bad Christian. In the corner now.
So what is it that Christianity doesn't answer as well as your worldview?
As I already said, all of it. Just all of it. And I thought you said this wasn't going to be a gotcha, because that really makes it sound like a gotcha. I mean, it isn't, because it's not a very good one, but come on. Next question better be better. I mean, we're only like... Oh God, that was the first question? Oh God, what have I done?
If your definition of atheism is merely that it's a lack of belief in God and you're just waiting to be convinced, but then you speak of him as though he's in some way synonymous with Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, or fairies, doesn't that at least send the message to your listeners that you actually believe that there is no God?
Perhaps, perhaps not. But so what? Are you telling me I shouldn't compare one thing I don't think exists to another thing that I don't think exists? Seriously, what exactly is your point? I have a funny feeling you don't actually have one apart from, you have a definition that you hold to, but you also said mean things I don't like.
After all, these are entities and beings that you likely believe do not exist.
Right, this is semantic. We both agree that Santa doesn't exist, right? So I don't need to go in depth on why I don't believe, and you don't feel the need to make me explain why I don't believe, or more importantly, wouldn't even bother to ask, so if there was definitive proof of Santa, would you believe? 'Cause you know what? I would! Because duh! So in technicalities, I lack belief in Santa the same way I lack belief in God. It's just you lack that same belief in one of them, so there's no need to go more into it.
And if your response is that you merely lack a belief in Santa Claus and don't actively believe that he does not exist, doesn't that sound a little disingenuous, honestly?
You only think that because you think that the idea of truly believing in Santa is kind of ridiculous. Now, if you had some of that empathy thing I've heard so much about, you might understand that from another person's perspective, the lack of evidence for God is a good reason not to believe in him as any other fictional character, yeah? Right, thank Christicles, that was a short one. Next!
When atheism becomes a part of someone's worldview, they typically change their positions on other issues like abortion, sexual morality, and a number of other things.
Okay, unfortunately, I'm going to have to interject early because he's going to do this question in one great big waffle. And I am going to have to say the things I need to when they come up instead of waiting for him to finish. Otherwise, you're going to end up listening to me solidly for like 5 minutes. And no one wants that. Least of all me. So, right. People change their opinions on things when they don't have a book and or group telling them that they must have those certain opinions or they aren't a real whatever it is. And then they get out to the real world where these things are legal and they realise they don't hurt anyone or should be a choice or whatever. Yeah, of course that happens. It would be really weird if you left a religion but you had all the exact same opinions. Although I can see why you might think that. Yeah. You left the religion, but you know our God is real still though, right? No, that's not how anything works.
I actually have several videos of well-known atheists saying that there's nothing wrong with prostitution, that they hope their children don't save themselves until marriage.
Right, there's nothing inherently wrong with prostitution. There's messed up things with organised stuff, but that's beyond the purview of this video. But yeah, what people choose to do with their bodies for money is their business, and there's nothing inherently special or sacred or mystical about sex. And no, but my book / my God says X is not a compelling argument. However, that people said that they hope their children don't save themselves till marriage? What? That sounds like a misquote or a cherry pick or... well, I'm just going to say doubt / context, please, because A, who thinks about what their kids are doing in their bedrooms? Well, apart from Christians, but normal people don't do that. And B, who cares if a kid saves themselves for marriage or not? Much like sex, marriage isn't sacred. I know you think it is, but it ain't. So it's a big whatever. All anyone should want for their kid's sex life is to be happy, healthy, and safe. Anything else is just creepy.
And that sex workers should be put up on a pedestal no different than the military. I didn't use those here because I didn't want to seem combative to individuals.
But you literally just used those here. Honestly, this is where I 100% knew this guy was actually just a jackass and not a big dum-dum. Or perhaps he really is so goddamn stupid that he thinks that bringing up these tall tales from the big book of shit that probably never happened is absolutely going to be an attempt at poisoning the well. Or being combative. Because if he didn't want to do that, he wouldn't have f***ing brought them up.
Specifically the individuals who made those statements.
Who definitely, honestly, totally exist, guys, I promise. You know, like God.
But even if you didn't become an atheist just so you could sin, and I believe you.
Holy crap on a moderately sized cracker. You can just hear the quotes around the I believe you. Yeah, sure you do. And I believe you when you say you totally understand the arguments against your position. You just found them unconvincing. Don't worry about my blank stare and drool at the side of my mouth. That's just how I look when I'm doing the big smart. But yeah, as you so clearly understand and agree, no one stops believing in God just so they can sin. That's not how belief works. Because you would still believe if you thought it was a sin, thus you wouldn't be an atheist. Otherwise, it's not pigging sin.
Do you at least understand why those moves could send that message to people who might say that to you?
I can understand that some people are so incredibly dense and or completely lacking in empathy to the point where I have stopped believing the same things as you translates into I am now a bad person on purpose and happy about it. But I have a question for you. Do you not understand why that complete lack of understanding and outright judgment puts people off of your side? That people who might be open to some of your ideas would be put off by the sheer holier-than-thou attitude? It is extremely tiresome, to say the least.
If it's a lack of belief sort of atheism, what is it? Is it 50-50, 60-40, 75-25? And at what point do you feel disingenuous saying that you merely lack a belief, as opposed to leaning towards, I believe that God does not exist?
Right, if you're not even going to put the effort into making a new question, I am not going to put the effort into answering any more. Maybe if I'm feeling like I really deserve to suffer for my crimes, I'll make a two-parter out of this. But for now, I'm off to go sin against a God I definitely don't believe exists. Wink.
Wait, before you go, I have something super important to tell you. It's life or death. It will change everything forever. Nope, wait, it's gone. Oh well, probably wasn't important. But while I have you, don't forget to comment, subscribe and notify. And if you want more of my smexy voice, check out Mrs. Six's channel Spoonstar Stories, where I narrate and voice all the videos, and she does the work. And if you want to support the channel, check out the merch store for cool t-shirts, or check out Patreon, memberships and PayPal to support directly. Finally, follow me on the medias of social to get completely pointless guff and to keep up on the latest releases. Oh, I just remembered what I was going to tell you. Whatever you do, don't touch the